Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we have another light video for you guys. I think we only have 2 first appearances, 8 honorable mentions, so only 10 titles in all to go through, but there's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week ending April 14th, 2023. First up from DC Comics, Batman Incorporated number 7. This features the first cameo appearance of Dusty Bronco, a member of Joker Incorporated. Now, like we always say with these DC Comics, it really depends on what DC does with these characters that they're introducing as to how important these characters are going to be and how important these books are going to be in the future. Now, if they bring this character across other storylines or into more of the mainstay title series, like the Batman Standalone series or the Batman Detective Comics, or they introduce this character into a small screen, big screen project, that may give it a little bit more strength to this character going forward, but if the character just stays in this particular story arc, in this particular title series, it's really tough to say as to how important this particular book is going to be. So this one here is definitely going to be speculative if you choose to pick it up, but it may be worth doing so for the cover price. You know, for $3 or $4, you're specking on this character doing something in the future. If it becomes important, you're in it, you're in $3 or $4. If it goes nowhere, you're out a couple dollars, you know. So it's definitely a spec bet if you choose to pick it up. This one here, though, we do think you have some time on, so grab it if you can for a spec bet. If not, though, put it on your B-list and take a look at it later on. And finally, for Marvel Comics, Marvel's Voices Spider-Verse number 1. This features the first appearance of Spider-Friend, a Spider-Man from a sitcom universe. Also, the first full appearance of Recluse, previously appeared as a fan-submitted concept character, and also the first appearance of a female Kraven in an alternate universe. Now, like we always say with these Marvel comics, this is different than the DC comics. You know, Marvel still has a Disney powerhouse behind it. Disney Marvel still churning a ton of media. You really don't know where any of these characters they're introducing in the comics are going to end up. They're still making a lot of product for small screen and big screen, you know, a lot of TV shows, streaming series, and feature films. So Marvel is somewhat of a different beast in the DC comics. Whenever they introduce new characters into the Marvel comics, especially into the Spider-Man universe, these are books you definitely want to own for your collection. These are definitely worth the cover price. So go ahead and grab this one here for your collection. And now for the honorable mentions. From Scout Comics, All the Devils Are Here number 1. This is an emotional story about a dementia patient possessed by a powerful demon and the exorcist who must venture to his mind, travel through the ever-changing landscapes while being forced to confront his own traumatic past. Now this story here sounds very interesting, and it does sound like it can lend itself well to a small screen or big screen project, and you know Scout Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up in option in the past. With any of these small press and indie publishers, if these stories get picked up in option, that's a huge price driver in the future, so these are books you definitely want to spec on if the story sounds good enough to translate to film. And this one here, like we said, it does sound like it can translate to a small screen or big screen project, so in our opinion this one here is a good spec bet, so grab this one here if you can. If you can't though, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Fair Square Comics, Blood, Love, Ghost, and a Deadly Spell number 1. This is an anthology of horror stories. Now we put this one here on the list because it is an anthology of horror stories, because these definitely have a huge fan base and huge collector base. This is from Fair Square Comics. We haven't really heard much from this particular publisher, so this one here is definitely going to be speculative if you choose to pick it up. Like I said, we just put this one here on the list because this is an anthology of horror stories, and they do have a huge collector base, so this one here may be worth picking up. You know, because of the publisher, we can't imagine they have a huge distribution, and we don't really think this book will be heavily sold, so there's definitely going to be a few of them out there in the future. So because of the low print run, low sell-through rate, and the limited distribution, this one here could be a good pickup for the future. So in our opinion, this might be worth specking on. Grab it if you can. If you can't though, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Mad Cave, Exorcists Never Die number 1. This is a 6-issue series that follows a pair of combat exorcists on a mission into the depths of hell. Now this one here sounds very interesting. We put this one on the list just because Mad Cave has been getting a lot more attention on their titles recently, but this one here may be difficult to translate to a small screen or big screen, so it's really tough to say whether or not this one here will be picked up an option. So this one here is definitely going to be speculative if you choose to pick it up, probably a lot more so than some of the other titles we just mentioned. So this one here, pick it up for a spec bet if you can. If you can't though, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Dark Horse Comics, The Great British Bump Off number 1. Now this is an Agatha Christie style murder mystery set in the world of English competitive banking. Now once again, this does sound like it lends itself very well to a small screen, big screen project. And you know, Dark Horse has had a ton of their titles picked up in option in the past, and that's driven a lot of these comics way up in the secondary market. So this one here, in our opinion, sounds like a great spec bet, probably worth picking up for the cover price. Go ahead and grab this one. Next up from Boom Comics, The Seasons Have Teeth number 1. A retired conflict photographer lives in grief after an unthinkable tragedy, but everything shifts when the seasons arrive, each one a godlike creature, who he tracks down to capture the perfect picture in hopes of redemption. Once again, sounds like it lends itself very well to a TV show, streaming series, or feature film, and Boom Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up in option in the past. So once again, this one here sounds like a great spec bet in our opinion. Grab this one here if you can for the cover price. If you can't though, put it in your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Image Comics, World TR-33 #1. In 1999, a group of friends began to explore the Undernet, a secret architecture beneath the internet, but they lost control and unleashed unimaginable horrors. Now, the reason we put this one here on the list is because even though these have already shipped, there is a printing error with this one here and the 125 variant. The publisher has asked for these books to be destroyed. They are going to issue replacements for these, but because of the printing error, these here are on the list, and since comic shops are expected to destroy the errors, that is definitely going to control the supply of these out on the market, and going forward into the future, there's going to be a lot fewer of these on the market than the replacement issues. So in our opinion, this one here is definitely worth picking up the spec on. You know, for a cover price, you could be sitting on a big winner here, just because of that printing error and because dealers are supposed to destroy these books. So the only ones that are going to make it out to the market are the ones that the dealers don't actually destroy. So there's not going to be many of them out there. You probably want to own one at the cover price. Go ahead and grab this one. Next up from IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Usagi Yojimbo Weirwin #1. The Turtles travel through time to feudal Japan where they team up with Usagi to battle Dr. Weirwin and his samurai robots. Now this one here sounds like one you should definitely pick up and add to your collection. You know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, huge fan base, huge collector base, and the same thing with Usagi Yojimbo, huge fan base, huge collector base, and this team up here, you know, you can't really go wrong for $3 or $4. You definitely don't want to miss this one here for the cover price. You have to chase it down later for hundreds or thousands of dollars. So this one here, in our opinion, is a great book to own. Go ahead and grab this one. And finally, from Marvel Comics, Guardians of the Galaxy #1. This is the introduction of Grootfall, a mysterious, ominous phenomenon. And this is also the premiere issue of the new Guardians of the Galaxy title series. In our opinion, this was one you definitely want to pick up. You know, any of these premiere issues of ongoing series, these are definitely books worth owning. There's always some sort of hidden first appearance or first cameo appearance discovered later on. And for $3 or $4 to have the premiere issue of this title series and the introduction of this Grootfall, we really don't know what that is. But you know, Marvel Disney is still going very strong with this franchise, and you don't want to miss out on this one if Grootfall makes it into a small screen or big screen project. So in our opinion, this is one you definitely want to pick up. Go ahead and grab this one. So there you have the 10 titles we have for you guys this week. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.